live. Check your feeds. Right, we are up.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. In case we haven't met, my name is Rad Burmeister. I'm one of the co-founders of Unity Gym and co-creators of the UMS movement. Oh, what am I saying? Of the UMS, the Unified Movement System. I'm joined today by Richard Lillies down the bottom there. He is one of my business partners, and Phil White, who's looking very fresh today. Phil, you're looking good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I've got my first ever half Ironman on Sunday, and I've shaved the legs, I've removed hair from here. I'm trying to get every bit of extra bit of body weight, any advantage I can get to try and survive this race. So
Aerodynamics.
feeling streamlined.
It's funny. Richard shaves his legs for other reasons, not for Ironmans.
Hey, it's 2022. You're allowed to do that. Don't you shame me.
I'll still never shave my beard.
Yeah. Good to have you here, mate. If in case you didn't know, for those listening, Phil is our resident physiotherapist from adpt.physio. Check him out online. He's been working with us for close to a decade now. Hey, Phil.
Forever.
Today we've got a really good topic, and it's one that I care a lot about, and I'd love to know because he usually is on the live streams. Vinny, are you there? Vinny, are you okay? Are you okay, Vinny? Vinny Brown, who I had a chat with recently. We had a Zoom call, and we were talking about, well, basically, when I get on calls with people, I try to work out what is the bottleneck that's preventing you from getting the results you want. And we identified that Vinny had a real spurt towards his goals last year, and then basically after the lockdown over in Australia, the second lockdown that we had in Sydney, after it ended, he started losing his results. And what we identified was, hey, Donald, how are you, brother? I can see that Donald's on here. He said hello. We identified that was a period of time where we were doing the follow-along at-home workouts. And Vinny was joining in with the at-home workouts, with the follow-along workouts with me live every day. And then when they stopped, his results started to decline. And this is not a surprise to me at all, because what we have identified are the three key ingredients to the athletic transformation that everybody that comes to Unity Gym and Unity Gym Online wants is, number one, ultra efficient workouts. Number two, a nutrition system that is easy and something that you can implement without a lot of willpower. And number three is accountability. And Phil, I'm sure you can relate. Like, how many times have we gone through, like, how much more motivated are you to train when you've got a buddy to train with, or when you've got, somebody to share the journey with?
Distressingly, like I wish I was better at being motivated to go, but it's been really highlighted recently. And why I got into doing this half Ironman training was because when I went down south during the lockdown, couldn't be in the gym with the guys. Like my fitness just went, and I found at-home training really challenging. And yeah, basically I started doing this because there was a triathlon club down there, and just turning up, having people there to do the training with. And unfortunately, my partner as well is really great with, she's doing the same training as well. And we just had a bit of a sense of community. It just like brings me in. And that's what got me training at Unity Gym in the first place. Like I tried going to gyms by myself and it just sucked. And it was having that group atmosphere and having knowing that I had to turn up and people were expecting me to turn up was just that's what got me into being a gym person.
Yeah, the social accountability, like even for people like Richard, Phil, and myself, is just absolutely huge. Now, personally, I do online coaching, and I do online coaching because I have movement goals. I have goals to be able to do things that I can't currently do. And, in all honesty, in my experience, the only way to fast track those results is to work with somebody that knows more with you. And so that's why I employ an online coach, and that's why thousands of people around the world work with us, because we have something to offer them. But I want to take this opportunity to point out, like, what I've seen is Vinny has started posting again in the group, because we identified, like, for some people, you for whatever reason you can't get to a local group or community like what Phil's talking about, or maybe just it's that the local communities and the groups and the coaches around you can't offer you a program that is going to deliver the results that you want. That's one of the things that we see a lot with people that commit to the UMS online. We have people that want to learn how to do press to handstands, or want to get the middle splits or the front splits, or want to just basically be strong and flexible. And there's not a lot of options for people to get access to a program like that in local gyms or local, group training that they do. So that's why they join something like the UMS online, because we offer that. But the point of today's show is to highlight the importance of being active in an online community. And what we identified with Vinny was that he was posting videos of himself last year. He was posting videos of his progression, and we were giving him feedback, and that was keeping him accountable, keeping him on track. And that is something that the power of that cannot be overstated. It really can't. In fact, it was what Vinny and I both identified was the missing link in, what had caused his results to start to decline. He still had access to the same programming, the same coaching, but he just stopped holding himself accountable by posting those videos and being active in a group. It's so powerful, and it is like, the best athletes in the world work with coaches. The best athletes in the world are being held accountable by an external source. Of course, I'm making a blanket statement here. Of course, there's examples of people out there who aren't doing this. But, when you look at, when we're talking to Nilesh, who works with professional athletes in AFL, and he talks to us about the level of accountability that those guys have. And you can see it, all around the world, is that the best people are using external sources of accountability through, groups like what we're talking about, and through working with coaches. It's
and can I
is.
just highlight for how massive that is for in just the physio context as well, because it's Physio Wednesday, and I'm gonna take my
Mhm.
take my position and talk about it. But in my degree, when I was doing my doctor physio degree, they're like, so the biggest thing with physio is that you give people advice and you give them exercise to do, and they don't do it, and that's a known thing. They do it for maybe a week, if that, but then it drops off. And so, like, most physio gyms have taken the approach. I mean, sorry, most physio clinics have taken the approach of, okay, we'll get each client in 8 times, because that way they know at least they'll be accountable, they'll turn up, and they can at least make them do it the exercise 8 times, and people generally get better, get a good result, and have that. But I think that's what's really lacking in physiotherapy as well. And I'm actually starting my own little Facebook group to have a separate box to tick, because I think there's a lot of people like you and me, and people who are probably watching this, that are pretty good at doing exercise, but they often don't do the little things they know they need to do, the little prehab exercises, maybe the little rehab exercises that mean that when you're doing the activities that you're actually going to be able to perform really well, but also be pain-free. So I've been really, inspired watching you guys, the Unity guys, building this whole community, and I want something similar for physiotherapy. So if anyone's watching and you're interested in that, get in contact with me. It's something that I'm trying out. No other physio is doing it. I've looked around, and it's not a thing. So I just want to have an option for people who don't want to have to go and spend $900 on 8 consecutive physio appointments just because they can't be trusted to do things at home. So that's
Yep.
my little thought. But it's,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
hard. And having
It's
community helps.
Oh, massively. Like, it really does. Like, there is something to be said for accountability. And I mean, really, in the coaching world, being a personal trainer, I've been a coach for 20 years now. And I know that there are some people that basically what they get out of coaching is the accountability. There's a lot of people that are at a level that really don't need to be explained the basics of training anymore. But that's still they still, if they don't have that accountability, if they don't have somewhere that they can turn up to and be held accountable for daily through an online group or through working with people face to face, they just won't do the work. And so
Yeah.
it like the whole point of
Can-
today's talk is to really remind everybody how important this is. And if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, you're scratching your head wondering, why have I fallen off, with my results? Why am I not getting what I got last year, or whatever? Then you really need to reinvigorate this accountability system, either at a local gym with your friends or in an online community like what we're doing here.
Yeah, I think people can fall into the trap, and I know I have, particularly the business side of things, like thinking that just gaining more knowledge will get you the results, and constantly consuming more and more knowledge and going down YouTube rabbit holes of like, oh, maybe if I learn this new exercise or something slightly different. But it is the action that actually gets you the results. You can feel like you're making productive movements towards your goal, but unless you actually do the thing, you will not get the results. And there's nothing quite like accountability and having someone else there to say like, yes, I've ticked this off, and seeing other people do it, and having that community and support around it, like that's how you get results. So don't do what I did. Don't fall down the rabbit hole of just constantly reading stuff and never actually taking action. Okay.
And so if you're watching this on YouTube or in the UMS Movement Mastermind, the easiest way to get started with this is to get into the Facebook group where we offer free coaching and accountability, the UMS Movement Mastermind. This is exactly what Vinny's done. He's reinvigorated himself there, and start posting videos of yourself so that you can get feedback from people who are in our tribe, who are further along the journey than you are. You can get feedback from us, from Phil, from Richard, myself, Yanni, Will, and also so that you can just start being held accountable. If you're posting daily, it's going to make you go, oh man, I've got to post today. I've got to do something. You start being held accountable for it. And that is a major part of getting the results that you want for the goals that you've set for yourself in 2022. So get posting, start asking questions, and let's get you some good results. See you soon, everyone.
Yeah.